working for a while to get 10,000 organic followers on Instagram. So I was able to surpass that. Just kind of let you guys know what I was able to do to build that account from scratch. In the social media world, followers equals influence. If people see you have 10,000 followers, you're just kind of an authority or an expert. The way I was able to build my following on Instagram, the same thing carries over for Facebook or any other social media platform. So many of us are caught up in the social media world, and we all want to grow our influence. We all want to grow our follower and fan base. So I'm just going to give some quick tips on how I was able to get to 10,000 followers. First of all, you got to set a milestone as to where you want. If you're a person who have maybe 50 followers, 100 followers, that's fine. But set a goal and a timeline to make it happen. So for me, initially, I wanted to get 1,000 followers. And I would say, okay, I want to get that in the next 30 days. Then I would divide 1,000 by 30. That'll tell me how much I needed to get per day. And every day, that was the focus. I broke the big goal down into smaller tasks that were doable, that were reasonable. So you need 33 followers every day for a month, and that'll give you 1,000 followers in a month. Guys, that's doable. One, your confidence raised because you're like, I can do that. I can get 30 followers in a day. If you set your goal for 100, that means that's 3 followers a day. For 30 days will give you 90 followers. Everyone can get 3 new followers in a day. And I'm going to show you some ways to really be able to get new followers every single day. Now, how do you get these 3 new followers? This is how I like to think of social media. You've got to think of social media or Instagram or Facebook or whatever platform you're using like it's a crowded party. When you walk into an event and you actually show up, some people are going to see you, some people are going to notice you, but it's crowded, so you're not really standing out. You're just coming in. Being on Instagram is like you just entered the party. When you say hello, you don't even talk. You just say hello. Hi, how are you? To someone at that party. That's like the equivalent of clicking like on someone's post. You just made yourself noticed in a crowded party. When you actually comment on someone's post, that's the equivalent of you going up to a person and individually saying, hi, my name is Sophia. What do you do? Or nice to meet you. Where are you from? Comments are like when you start a conversation with people at an actual event. Think about it. When you say hello to someone and when you actually start a conversation, that's 2 different levels of engagement, right? So it's the same thing with a like and with a comment. When you go on Instagram and you like someone's post, you're making yourself more noticed than a person who didn't like. But guess what? If you actually drop a comment, now that person actually recognizes you. And most times when you leave a comment, especially if it's a relevant comment to their post, typically what they're going to do is they're going to click on your profile to see who you are. Now, if you've got some content that's relevant to them, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to either like, comment, or follow you back. You've got to engage with other people's posts for them to be able to, 1, recognize you, 2, see what you're all about, and 3, raise your potential of them following you back. So many people are on social media and they're like ghost followers. They look at your content, they don't like, they don't comment. So really and truthfully, you didn't even know they were there. If you want to become visible on social media, you've got to start engaging with other people's posts. Guess what? If you're online and you want to build your followers, you want more people to follow you, you've got to follow them. You've got to engage with others. This thing with social media is no different than the golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. If you want people to follow you or like or comment on your post, you've got to start doing it first with other people. Go out here and go and like, comment, follow other people who are relevant to what you're building, maybe relevant to your brand. And guess what? They're going to start to notice you. And typically people follow back because we understand that we're all building a network here. We're all building our brands. So we've got to engage with other people for them to engage with you. Too often I see people who just don't engage with anyone, but they want their Instagram to grow or their Facebook following to grow. Nah, selfishness is not going to grow you on social media because remember, the key to social media is going viral. You want people to engage with your comments. You want people to actually share your content because that's how you get into other people's networks so it can actually go viral. Why viral? What's a virus? A virus is something that replicates really quickly or replicates within itself. That's the same thing with social media. That's why they call it viral, is because if you create a piece of content, someone shares it, and then they share it, and then some people in their group share it, and then it shares it. It's replicating without you. You're just the source. So what you got to do is you've got to engage with other people. That's the first tip. Hashtags are important. Definitely. Hashtags is like the filter. Let's say you go to a networking event that has 100 people there, and you're trying to find other network marketers, or maybe you're trying to find other makeup artists, or whatever it is your profession is. If you're in a huge group, how do you identify who is who? You need some type of way to sort or to filter. That's what a hashtag is on Instagram, guys. Hashtags aren't just there to make your post look cool. You know, I see people all the time putting hashtag like something that isn't a filter, but is just kind of a statement. That's cool, but realize that you're not being effective by doing that. A hashtag is basically a way that social media or search engines, or in this case Instagram, categorizes posts. So if you put a hashtag, if you're a makeup artist or a hairstylist, and you're posting something about a client, and you put hashtag MUA, which is the acronym for makeup artist, what that does now is that puts your post in the category for makeup artists. So anyone who goes on Instagram and is looking for makeup artists and they put that hashtag, guess what? Your post is now in that same category. So now you're searchable. Now people can find your content. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. If you're not an influencer on Instagram or online yet, and let's say you've got 100 followers online, and you post a really great piece of content, but you've only got 100 followers and you use no hashtags, guess what? No one's going to be able to search for your content unless they know your direct Instagram handle. But if you've only got 100 followers, that means that your reach maximum is 100 people. So you just kind of cut yourself off from the rest of the world. So what you've got to do, you've got to use hashtags to make your content searchable by people who are looking for that. So many people miss that. People have to be able to find you. So if you're not using hashtags, you've got to realize that the only people who are going to see your content are the people who are following you. And if you're trying to grow your following, you need to be hashtagging so that someone who is not yet following you sees it, likes it, and now comes to your page and follows you and starts to like your content. So don't sleep on hashtags. They are so important because they're the only way you're going to get found outside of the people who are already following you. Let's recap. So hashtags are important. You've got to engage, like, comment, and follow other people. And the third thing, you've got to put out good content. You've got to put out stuff that people are going to be interested in looking at. You don't want to have your Instagram full of ads or products. You want people to want to actually see what you're talking about and want to engage in your content. Remember, there's millions of people online. So why should they take 5 seconds of their life and look at your stuff? You got to make sure your content is good. It's engaging. You've got to have great visuals. You've got to have good captions. Don't make it just flyers and ads because people typically just scroll past them. They don't even look at it, to be honest. It starts with great content. You can't want people to follow you, or you can't want to become this influencer online if you're not putting out anything worthwhile looking at. Think about what you're posting. Don't just post anything. Like, put some thought into it. Every post that I post, I have an end goal in mind. There's some kind of action that I want to be taken based on what I post. So I have to think it through. I don't just post anything. If you're not following me and you're watching this, make sure you go show me some love. It's I Am The Lioness on Instagram. Go through my posts and you'll see my posts are really thought out. My caption, go with the photo. They're either thought-provoking to make people think. They're either have a call to action to get people to want to work with me or at least continue to follow my content. Every post you don't want to say, buy my product, join my business, check me out. You don't want to do that because that becomes annoying and people will unfollow you, or when they start to see your posts, you're so predictable that they just scroll past you. You want to drop 2 or 3 pieces of content that makes people think, makes people just like your content before you actually call them to action. I give value. I give content that people will just think about and make people say, that's true, or this makes sense. So you want to give free value. That's the main thing. Give enough value and guess what? 1, you become credible. 2, you become an influencer. And 3, those people, because you gave them so much value for free, they're going to want to spend money with you and want to be a customer of yours because they're going to say, if I can get all this value from her for free, imagine if I was to lock in with her program. So you got to think about being paid on the back end, not everything up front. You've got to pick your target market, pick what your brand or your niche is going to be online. Make yourself an expert or an influencer or an authority on that topic, things that people can benefit from, and then eventually, every once in a while, you ask for the sale. If you give enough good free value, people will be in your inbox asking you what you do. It happens to me every day. I give value, I do videos, and people are so intrigued by the content that I'm putting out. They're in my inbox saying, okay, so what do you do? I see you're an entrepreneur, but how can I learn more about what you're doing? I don't have 1 million followers. I don't have 100,000 followers. I've just hit my first goal of 10,000. But before it was 10,000, I wanted to have 1,000. Then when I got 1,000, I wanted to have 2,000. So think of your big goal, your long-term goal. Break it down into small tasks that are doable. Give yourself a deadline and a time frame and come up with an action plan to accomplish it. Once you set a goal and you truly consistently work at it, it has to happen. The only reasons we don't accomplish our goals in not only social media but in life is because we give up. Don't give up. If you want to become an influencer online, if you want to, set that goal. What's that goal for you? Is it 1,000 followers? Is it 500 followers? Is it 5,000 followers? Set the goal. Remember, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that goes with everything in life. From getting dressed in the morning, to getting social media followers, to making $1 million. You've got to have a plan of action, and you've got to follow it.